say you'll listen, but you're missing what it's all about. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry.
Welcome to another episode of Yeah, No, I Know. But before we get started, a little disclaimer. Nothing in this podcast is being claimed as fact. Most everything discussed here are our own individual, personal opinions, beliefs, and experiences. We encourage you to always do your own research and form your own opinions. Nothing one person says on this podcast goes for everyone here. Each individual speaking is speaking only for themselves and no one else on the podcast. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started.
All right, welcome back, you guys. Yeah, no, I know. So am I supposed to say all the things in the beginning or do we say at the end?
You can say whatever you want.
Okay, I'm just going to jump into it today. Okay, so I had an experience not too long ago where I posted a purse, a designer purse online.
Oh gosh, this is ridiculous.
On Facebook Marketplace. And I got a lot of hate, a lot of really unsolicited comments when I was just trying to sell something. And the way that people attacked me was insane. And it just kind of like reminded me of like other things that people have done. And I've kind of just like shoved it under the rug and not really thought about it.
So what did they say? Like, I want to know.
Like,
or can I
somebody
look
told
it
me-
up? Can I look up the comments?
If you can find it, yeah. I think like one of the hosts of the marketplace deleted it because like people were just like being really ruthless, but basically like saying I have no soul.
It.
Yeah, telling me I have no soul, telling me that I have no worth in myself because I have to buy a $3,000 designer purse, telling me that I should donate it to the homeless or to animals that don't have homes. And
It's insane.
What's a homeless person going to do with a Louis Vuitton? Just sell it for drugs? Like,
yeah, I'm
sorry.
just like, you don't, it was insane to me, the things that people were saying. And so we were also talking at that time about the topic of like skinny shaming. And I was like, you know what, people, y'all money shame too. So
I had that happen online too with my old wedding dress. Like someone was like, "Oh, you should donate this and stuff." And Nick was like, "Wait a second. So you spent your hard-earned money on that you worked hard for, and just because you have more than some people, you should give it to someone and just eat the money because."
well, and I think it's also very like presumptuous of people to assume that you don't have areas in your life that you are donating to. Like, I know
Right.
that both of you are very generous with your money and you give a lot more than just money and items and time to other charities and other things. So just because you're not donating a wedding dress or a Louis Vuitton bag doesn't mean that you're not generous with your money.
And if you're not generous with your money, you don't have to be. That's your own fucking business.
Exactly.
And we earned it, not you. I feel like that's like the jealousy of people who don't maybe have quite as much to go buy Louis. And if they did, they would not be saying that. And they might be buying one themselves. Who knows? Maybe that's not their thing. But I think that's when you told me that, I was like shocked. I was like, wait, you were just trying to sell something on Marketplace and you were getting people jumping down your throat?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were selling like a $50 coffee table, are they going to be as pissed off at you? No, people are on OfferUp like selling junk all the time. I think it's actually nicer to sell something that's like worth money and value than like something people try and sell like the crappiest things. And like, I kind of find that a little offensive. I'm like, no, I don't want your coffee table that has like stains all over it. And it's from like 1983. Like
a
you know,
used, like,
throw it
crib
away.
or something.
Okay,
or
I
donate
just don't
that.
understand why anybody has any opinion on what anyone buys with their own money. Like,
And voices it.
people travel. Like, I don't see people like, oh, why would you spend your money on to go to Cancun and like drink alcohol on the beach and lay around in a bathing suit?
I
Like,
feel personally attacked by this because I love Cancun.
absolutely. And you should 1000% go and spend your money on that. But like, I personally don't like to fly. And I am just at that point in my life right now where I just work. And so I take vacations through shopping. So I'll go and I'll be like, oh, I would wear this here. I'd wear this to Cancun. I would wear this to wherever. And that's where I find joy in spending my money right now is purses and shoes and things like that. It's something quick. I can get a little bit of pleasure out of it. And who cares if I get pleasure out of a $3,000 bag?
And a $3,000 bag, I have to say, money is all relative. A $3,000 bag to one person is like a $2 bag to someone else. Like,
Right.
I'm not saying that's us necessarily, but like I was watching Selling Sunset.
Yes.
And I looked up Christine's bag, that Louis that changes colors, because it is amazing and it's $20,000
Right.
used. And I was thinking to myself, I can't imagine spending that on a bag. And then I thought to myself, but she has so much money. Like
Yeah.
a $20,000 bag to her is like a $5 bag. And it's none of my fucking business.
Yeah.
Where even though that's probably mostly her husband's money, it's really none of my business where it comes from. And she makes great money herself and she works hard for it. So she should be able to buy whatever she wants.
Exactly.
Well, like you
and
said, it's all perspective, because I was just watching Housewives of Beverly Hills and they were showing one of the girls has a new, I'm probably going to butcher it, but a Hermes bag and is $95,000.
Yeah,
I was
Hermes.
like, Hermes, yeah.
Hermes.
I'm like,
Good for
what
her.
the crap? Like, that's a lot of money for a purse, but
I would never spend that on a purse, but
Hey.
I'm not her.
If I had that kind of money, I would.
Yeah,
that's
right?
kinda-
But and here's the flip side too, is like, so why do we attack people that have money on what they spend it on, but then there's people that like don't have a lot of money, but they go and blow it on things that make them happy, like an iPhone or a laptop or whatever, you know, like whatever the thing may be, like tinting your windows, like who knows what it is, but like there's little things that everybody does that brings them joy, and that's what we're working our asses off for at the end of the day, is to be able to obviously like provide for ourselves and our families, but like to also find joy. And if somebody finds joy in a different way than you do, like who the hell cares? Like, what is wrong with people? That just like threw me for a loop. But I've also had like friends and stuff that have like, you know, like done little like digs here and there, you know, and then as soon as they could afford to buy a Louis, they went and bought one. It's like, what the fuck? Like, seriously? Like, you talked shit for years, but then you go and do it. It's just like, it's so silly. But that kind of like that threw me over the edge.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Uh-huh.
I would have been trying to make him feel so bad and message him and be like, actually, my mom just died and this is her bag and I'm
Aw.
trying to get funds together to pay for, well, I don't know, I would have made something up just to make him feel bad, because I feel like people don't think about any other, like they just think about what's sitting in front of them.
Yeah.
You are some rich bitch who paid this much for a bag and they're on Marketplace looking for a deal,
Yeah.
because maybe they can't afford or don't want to spend the money on something, so they waste time out of their day where they could be making money
Right.
to afford their own Louis if that's what they want, and then they like take it out on someone. I just can't imagine like that, like
I was
treating someone like that.
shocked when those messages started coming in. And it was like one after the other.
People
and
are
it,
really rude on
and
Facebook
who
Marketplace.
has that much time?
that's what I was thinking. Like, I've definitely had thoughts about things that people post, but I don't feel the need to comment
No.
on it. Like, I don't
I don't want to engage in that.
Yeah, like I can have
No.
thoughts in my head that don't have to come out of my mouth. That's called using wisdom and like discretion, like, you know?
Yeah, and being mature and not being a piece of shit human being.
Yeah,
Like,
especially taking the energy and time to like type it out. It's like,
Well, and then like I responded to one of the people, which was a huge mistake. And then this guy like comes in and like starts defending this woman and like harping on me even more. I'm just like, whoa,
Is this in
okay.
the comments? Like you can
I
comment
want to
on-
see these. I want to see these comments. Like, I feel like when viewers are going to want to hear
Wait,
these.
are these? So
No,
I'm
I should have
confused.
like screenshot it.
I didn't know you could comment and have a conversation
On a
with multiple people
marketplace?
on
Yeah, so like I
Marketplace.
post it, right? And then like somebody like writes, "Oh, how much?" or whatever, you know, or how, whatever. They ask a question. And then I respond, and then somebody else will respond to that.
Oh, I didn't even know you could make comments on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
I've never even seen that.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, apparently not.
It's just, I mean, I don't know. I was in shock. And like even like the Kardashians. Like I've seen a lot of, I mean, obviously like, you know, they put themselves out, which I didn't even put myself out there to like have people say anything. But they do. But people still have so much to say about like the Hiltons or the Kardashians or how they spend their money. And it's like, again, who cares? I
Well, you
don't care
know-
how much you have or how much you put yourself out there. Like that's what they want to spend their money on. Like go for it.
Yeah, you know that the
Mm-hmm.
Kardashians have a full-on site where they sell their clothes that
Oh
they
yeah, no,
wore
I have
once.
a dress like on hold.
How
do you?
dare they not
Well,
donate
'cause
those?
our
How dare
client
they?
Works
Yeah,
for them.
yeah.
Works for what's it called, like Kardashian,
Kardashian
Closet.
Closet,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I have
like
one
the
of Kim's dresses
Kardashians
on
are
hold.
doing that.
And they get those dresses for free.
no one's shaming them. Oh, they get them for
no,
free.
they do shame them.
Oh.
Everyone
They get a
shames them,
lot of
yeah.
shame. And that's what
Oh.
I'm saying. Like, if they got a dress for free, let's just say, right? And then they turn around and they sell it for $2,000 because it's like an Hermes or whatever, you know, some sort of fancy dress. They didn't technically get it for free. They have spent countless hours, countless days working to get to the point to where their perks are that they get free clothes. Now, wherever you work, you get perks eventually. If you're there long enough, you put enough hours in, you put in the time and the effort, you get a perk, right? But that's what theirs is. So if they want it, that's not just a dress, it's their time, their energy, and their personal, like their life, their existence. And that's what has gotten them that free dress. So if they want to sell it for $2,000, $2, $10,000, they're able to do it. So I don't know.
I think the main point is like when we talked about fat shaming and skinny shaming, like you're allowed to comment on someone who quote unquote needs to eat a hamburger, but you're not allowed to comment on someone who maybe should put the hamburger down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so we're saying it's the same thing here. It's like people are allowed to comment when someone has money and judge and, you know, comment on how they should be using it or how you think they should be using it. But
how dare you comment on someone that's homeless or why they're homeless or
right, exactly.
Or
if they don't have a lot of
welfare
money
or food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, then you should not be buying an iPhone, a brand new iPhone. You shouldn't be driving a, you know, Mercedes or whatever. You know, it's like, but you're not going to say that, but you have no problem saying it to somebody who has expensive things. Like, it's just such a double standard and it's ridiculous.
Well, and it's never anyone who has more money than you who's saying it.
Never.
No.
Nope.
No. How about on the flip side of like not material stuff, but having someone act like you have everything and you should be doing X, Y, and Z for them or for family because you have so much money.
Yep.
Like pity you.
Yep.
My mom actually did this recently, and she's probably going to hate me if she's listening to this because she probably doesn't want me to share this, but I'm going to share it anyway because it really irked me, and she apologized for it. But here I am remodeling my house. I'm pregnant. I'm planning a baby shower, a wedding, all of these things. I'm managing my house in Tennessee. I'm setting up Airbnb codes. I'm like doing all of these things. And I'm not complaining about it. It just is what it is. And
even if you are, who cares? Everybody complains about their job and and things going on in their lives that they've brought on themselves. Everyone does it, so who cares if you do?
Yeah, I'm taking care of these animals, and my bullfrog was sick, and I'm dealing with all of these different things. And a cousin of mine passed away, and there was about a week's notice for her funeral. And I admittedly wasn't super close to this cousin. I knew her a long time ago when I was younger. And, you know, of course, it's very sad. And one of my cousins who I am close to, it's her sister. And so, yes, I really wanted to be there for her, to like support her. And I told my mom, I was like, honestly, like with all of the expenses of the remodel, all this stuff coming up, trying to prepare for baby, trying to like get ahead on my filming schedule, trying to do the podcast, edit the I laid out all this stuff that I'm doing. And I was like, I just honestly don't know if it's something that I can physically make it to, even though I'd like to. And then she like shamed me for came at me about, oh, first world problems, like just came at me like, oh, you have all the money to have all of those things. So like none of those things should be relevant because I have money, according to her. So, and then she like suggested that I should pay for my sister's wedding because I have money, or she thinks I have money, you know, whatever that looks like to her. And so it was really like not a cute moment. And I was just like, I don't understand. So just because and she's like, your cousin's dropping everything to come to your baby shower. And I was like, I would never expect that in a million years. I would never expect someone to drop everything they're doing and fly all the way down here to my baby shower. She chose to do that, and I'm super grateful for that. But I didn't ask her to do that, and I definitely would not expect that. And the fact that like you're coming at me for not coming a week later, also where we live, you can't get an Uber there. Mm-mm. And Nick was working all of the days around it. So where's my dog gonna go? Like there was so much stuff to figure out, and I was just like really offended. And then when she was in town, she suggested I paid for my sister's wedding. My stepmom was like, wait, why would she even say that? Like, just because you have worked your ass off and you sold your company and you know, whatever your finances look like, I can't believe she would even suggest that you should pay for your sister's wedding because whatever. And I'm very generous. Like you were saying, like I'm very generous with my family, my sister, and everything. But like at the end of the day, like if you just spend your money like that and give stuff away, you ain't gonna have any more. Like so,
you have a child coming, a house that you're remodeling, like, and yeah, like you said, you've worked hard for that money. And also like I have an issue when like people who are young get married and they like don't have the money for a wedding, but then they expect mommy and daddy to front the bill. And I'm like, whoa. Like if a mom or a dad or whoever, you know, can pay for a wedding, great. But that is not an expectation. At least it shouldn't be. Like, if you cannot afford to get married and you still want to have this amazing wedding, then like you probably should hold off on getting married. Like Andy and I, we had some family members, like his parents, my parents, who chipped in on things. And like, you know, some gave more than others, like where they could. But like we were planning on having a wedding that we paid for, and we were able to have like a few nicer things because they helped us, but that was like a cherry on top. It was not expected. Like, so I can't stand when people like, if you can't afford to get married, then like either go to the courthouse or don't get married. Sorry, not sorry.
And don't expect people. Yeah, don't expect people. The expectation that comes with people knowing that you have more than them
or
is like
successful.
And you experience that too. You've talked about it too, where like friends just think that you're gonna get the bill and don't even offer and stuff. And it's like, I'm sorry, just because I worked really hard for what I have, and I still work really hard for what I have, and I'm trying to maintain that so that my children are taken care of for college and like all these different things, doesn't mean that I should put my card down or pay more because I just have more than you. Mm-hmm. And I don't expect a friend of mine that has more than me to do that either. So it's just an interesting, when
you were working in the business, were you also like confronted with people who thought that you should give them job opportunities and help them with their like career and stuff like that because you were like an influencer or you owned Arctic Fox or whatever? Like, I feel like that's another expectation that kind of, that's not necessarily like money, but like success as well. Like if you have something and then your friends feel like almost like they should be able to, or not even friends, sometimes acquaintances. Like, I mean, people come out of the woodwork.
Oh yeah. People asking for jobs.
Like, what do they want? Oh, they just want like a job? Like,
yeah, and they
a leg up
and they expect to like go past certain levels, or like my own experience is just people coming into your life, into your business, and getting what they need and then bailing. So they use you for as much as they need, and then once they kind of realize that they can't get anything else out of you, or that they've gotten everything that they can, or you're like, okay, it's time to spread your wings and like fly on your own now. Like I've set you up. Now you got to kind of like do the work. It's like, oh, well, why aren't you doing this for me anymore? And why aren't you posting? And why aren't you this? And why aren't you tagging? Why aren't you like, and it's like, at a certain point, it's like, you got to run your own business, you know?
Yeah.
So that's something I've experienced, bringing people, friends into
such a foreign concept.
And then they're not your friends anymore because you've done something wrong because you haven't helped them anymore or whatever.
It's such a foreign concept to me to like have friends to get something from. Like, I just am not like that at all.
No. The only thing I've ever done was one of my old friend, like an ex-friend, she let me work at her salon. But there were no perks. There were no, like, I got nothing. Like, I paid what everybody else paid. I went in and I cleaned the bathrooms on Mondays so that I could just work on Mondays, because to be able to work was a perk. So I'm like, okay, I'll clean the bathrooms on Monday if you let me work on Monday. Like, that was the only perk, you know? Like, I'll clean the whole salon. Just let me take clients. If anybody calls and they don't have a stylist, like, I get them because I'm in here cleaning. And that was the only perk. But never expected anything, and I would never want to. I would absolutely hate to say that I built my career on somebody else. That would be embarrassing to me. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe, I don't know. I think it takes certain women, like, that just don't want that. They want to build it on themselves. And that's why when it comes down to what we spend our money on, it's like,
we get to choose.
Exactly.
And you get to choose.
Like, we got here on our own regard, and we didn't need anybody to tell us how to get here, and we don't need to tell anybody we don't need anybody to tell us what to do now that we're here either.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
I'm not the one with the tag on their shoe today.
Oh yeah, these are new.
You got a tag on a tag. Love that.
They were on clearance.
They were.
Perfect. I love it.
They were $37.40. I actually put it in a video. I haven't posted it yet, but I did a video with these shoes.
Oh, nice. They're cute.
They're super cute.
Why?
Well, if you want to talk about money shaming, yeah. So I did a video. I haven't posted yet. I have like so much content, and I have a channel, but I've never posted on it. But I did a video, and it's gonna be called "I Bought 52 Shoes in 1 month."
Jeez Louise. I'm not trying to shame you what you spend your money on, Jenna, but have you seen this bitch's shoe collection? I wish I could fit in half of it.
I think we need to have an intervention.
Some people collect
shoe
art.
rehab.
Some people collect art.
Sale.
It was on sale. And that's the cool part. I'm like, okay.
You get a lot of your stuff on sale.
I do. Like, I'll find things that I'll like and I'll buy like one. And then when they go on sale, I'll buy them in every other color.
You also are really good with your bags because we've gone shopping for bags before too, and you will leave it there. And I left the last one there.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're gonna think about it.
Yep.
And then we kept thinking about the bag, so we got the bag.
Yeah, exactly. And I went
There you
back.
go.
I went back again and still didn't get the bag. And then finally, I was like, okay. And then they're like, there's only one left in New York, and I was like, get it. So yeah,
That made you want it even more.
Well, no, like I already wanted it, and
It would
then
make me want it more.
it was
I'd be
sold
like,
out. Yeah, it did.
Can't have it, but I can
No one
have
else
it.
can have it. I need it.
I
The
know.
only child in you.
It is totally 1000%.
I'm curious what you guys have to say about this, whether you have a little or a lot or in between. Like, there's levels of everything, and I'm curious if you guys have experienced any friends that try and take advantage of you for like just whatever. Like, maybe you have a job that they want a foot in at, or you know,
Hair extensions. I cannot tell you how many of my clients get shamed for how much they spend on hair extensions.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like I have
by who?
I have clients
so
who like their
outrageous.
friends or their mothers or their whatever are like, I can't believe you spend that much for hair extensions, like the vanity and like, yeah, it's crazy.
You know, one thing my mom always said to me, and we've never like had that much. We've always just been like very kind of middle class and lived very comfortably. But like she always said, like, if you want something, that's why you work. That's why you work.
1000%.
And if you can't afford it, then do you need to pick up an extra shift, or do you need to sell some things, or if you really want it that bad, you will find a way to create the money to go have that experience or that bag or whatever it is that you want. And then you know that you earned it and you worked your butt off for it, you know? And I like, that's literally why you work, is to have the things that you need. And then there's the things that you want. Like, it's okay to have some luxuries in life. I mean, as long as I think it is very important to like give back to charity or tithe or whatever that is, you know, that you want to do with your money. But also like, I think it's important to like spoil yourself sometimes too. Like, and that's okay. And that should be accepted, and whatever that looks like for anyone, you know?
It's just no one's business.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's not.
like if you want to spend money on hair extensions because you feel beautiful, then by all means you should.
Absolutely.
Like, I can't imagine telling someone what they should or shouldn't spend their money on.
Well, and then this reminds me too, because I'm looking at my car. I had a friend whose husband was here. They were at our home, and we were like, I think we like made dinner or whatever, and we were hanging out, and he like proceeded to talk crap about me because, he was like a really blunt asshole. Like, I mean.
In your house.
Oh, yeah. Like, I hated her boyfriend, and it sucks because it was my best friend who passed away. It's his wife. So she like was dating this guy. So it was like the new guy that took my best friend's place on top of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, he was like, just basically like saying like, oh yeah, like you drive a Range Rover because you want people to look at you. I'm like,
cute.
No, that's actually not why I drive it. Like, that's not why I like a Range Rover. Not so people will look at me. He goes, well, you're trying to like let people know something. Like, he was very logical and very like, just kind of like, I'm smarter than you, I'm better than you, and
Got issues.
yeah. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just tell you this really quick. Let me tell you this story. When I first started like doing hair, I was driving this piece of shit primered hatchback. Like, I got pulled over
Relatable.
probably like 3 times a week. And because the cops thought I was like smuggling drugs or something. I don't know. But I remember driving to a gas station in Del Mar, and I was on my way to go pick up hair, just hustling, you know, like doing what I needed to do. I did not have a lot of money. I was just starting out, and the car like broke down. It wouldn't start. And I'm sitting at the gas station. I see this woman come up with this Range Rover, and she just looked like she had her life together. She had her kids in the back, and she just seemed very peaceful. And I just started bawling. Like, I was just like, I cannot believe I'm at this point in my life. I just left my husband. Like, I was a single mom. I was starting a new career, starting my career over again, basically. And I was like, I'm going to get there. Like, I'm not going to sit here and cry. Like, obviously I'm going to cry it out, but like, I'm going to pull up my big girl panties. I'm going to do this for myself, and I am going to make that happen, period. And I drive a fucking Range Rover now.
That's
and
literally
that is
my exact
not,
story.
Yeah, and it's not for people to look at me. It's an accomplishment. It makes me feel accomplished. It was a goal I set for myself. I reached it, and I am damn fucking proud of it. And people need to stop tearing people down. It's ridiculous.
I just don't know
Yeah.
why
I'm
do people
passionate.
care
Yeah.
so much. Like
I don't know. I looked at it as
jealousy.
like something to reach
Yeah.
to, something to aspire to, where other
Right.
people look at it like maybe they don't have that hope. They don't have that bone in their body
Yeah.
that I can get there. So they just hate.
yeah,
They're judgmental.
and I think it's because they're not happy or satisfied with where they're at. Because that's the only reason that you would like judge or hate someone so much for like something that they purchased or whatever. Like, so I'm gonna say this to you, Jenna, and like I know you won't take offense to it, but like you posted about that bag and you were like, should I buy it or should I not? And I didn't like choose because I was like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like if you want it, Jenna, buy the freaking bag. I don't care. So I
think
didn't
posted
comment.
too.
I don't know. I just saw one, but I just remember like scrolling past it and thinking to myself like, if you want it, Jenna, buy it. Like I don't care,
Oh.
you know. But that's what I'm saying is like, I'm not gonna shame you for that, but I'm glad that you bought the bag. It makes you
I am
happy.
too.
It makes you happy. So I'm happy for you as a friend. It is really cute. I think it's adorable, you know. But I'm like, if you didn't get it, I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I don't care enough, and I think that's because I'm at a place where I'm happy and content with the things that I have, and I think people just aren't content, and that's where that jealousy like comes up, and they're like, you know, they want to attack that, and
Yeah.
that's
That's
a
what's
deep.
held me back from posting a lot too, is because
You shouldn't have to.
no, I get so much like smack for it, slack. I don't know, shit. Get so much shit for it in real life with just like not these friends, friends, and I think it's just made me really like closed off online too. So it's like stopped
I'm that
me.
way a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah, it stops me from doing and saying things that like I actually really love and I would love to talk about with other like-minded people or even aspire people like to get to that place where they can get these things. So I don't know. It's all about perspective.
Yeah. I don't know what I was talking about in a vlog. I think it was like I was talking about how much one of these like construction companies wanted to like redo one of our bathrooms or something. And then I was also talking about how I needed to rehome my bunnies because I don't have an area for a nursery yet or a barn built. And I had some girl comment about like, oh, but don't you have tons of money though? Like, don't you have like all this money and space for your animals? And like, why should you care how much that is? It's just so funny. It's like people that have money that they worked hard for are actually pretty frugal with their money in a lot of ways, because if you're not, it'll be gone. And so because I have more than the person commenting financially means that I should pay a higher price tag for a bathroom, or I shouldn't have to rehome one of my animals because I should have the space. Like my house in San Diego is the same size as my house in Nashville, and it's too small for what I do. I work from there, I film from there, all my animals are there. So yeah, we're building a barn and stuff, but it's just funny, like the commentary that you get. And like, I was the same way. I worked 3 jobs. I was a bartender and another bartender at a place, and I worked Monday through Friday, and I had the shittiest car. It had a Pontiac Firebird in 1994, I think. And like, it was chipped and it would roll on a hill. The window wouldn't roll down. Yep. Like, I mean, some guy tried to hotwire it, hijack it when I was in a bar one time, and he fell asleep and he was in the driver's seat when I got out of the bar.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God I picked up a guy, so he came over and like helped me out. But
Nick, don't listen.
And so like I had the crappiest car, and whenever I would see someone in a car, I loved that Range Rover or a BMW M3 was like, I'm gonna have that one day. And I'm a car person too, so that's one reason I have all the cars that I have. I'm a car person, but I never thought badly about someone either. I was just like, wow, look at what they did. Like I worked with a girl who had a Mercedes, and I was like, I love your car. When I would get out of my little shitty Pontiac and get in hers, I'm like, I love your car. This is so, like, I can't wait for the day that I have this. I wasn't like, oh, you spent your money on this, because I knew I was going to get there. And I think you're right. I think it's people that don't have that in them to like want to get there, or they don't know how, but they're just can be very judgmental. And it's just such a nasty like attitude, and it's so unattractive, and you're just bringing more negativity to yourself, like at the end of the day.
Well, and like what you guys were saying about like going from a place of like not having and then to having, like I remember when I was little, my mom always told me, and I think it's because she went through a lot of marriages. She had men who like let her down, and she found herself in a place where she had to fend for herself and then her kids. And so she always taught me like to never need a man, meaning financially, you know, to make your money and, you know, be financially stable and have everything you need, so that when you're with a man, it's because you want to be with them, not because you need to be with them. Because I feel like there's so many girls out there who are like, I want a rich man. I just want to marry rich. It's like, no, go do it yourself. Like, you know, and I'm not like rich, but I remember when I bought my first car for myself, I was like so freaking proud of myself. And I got my first apartment by myself. And I was just so proud of myself that I'm like, I did this. I made it to this level to where I wanted to be before I was 30. And like, I'm self-sufficient. I've got money in the bank. I've got money in savings. Like I got a car, I got a house. Like I'm good. Not a house, but you know, an apartment, you know? So, and I think it's like you said, it's just like, I don't know, like not being jealous of what other people have. And like, it's okay that you're not there yet. They're looking at someone's like, you know, year 20, not at their year 1 when they start. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not good with analogies, but
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, like it's not for me or my life, but if you want to date someone because they have money, go for it. If that's your thing too.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, like,
I think that
it's not
like,
my thing, but
okay. So have you guys watched Marrying Millions?
yes, I love that show.
Oh, it's so good. Okay,
Oh,
here's
yeah,
the
I did
thing.
start
Everybody
watching
has
it.
a type,
Oh, good.
right? Everybody has a type. Some people go for looks. Some people go for brains. Some people want financial security, and I think that's totally fine. And I don't think it's like something that should be looked down on. Like, would you marry somebody you didn't find physically attractive? No.
No.
You wouldn't. Would you marry someone who had a micro penis? No. Okay, so some women value that, and I tend to be one of those women who
But I
think
think
that
it's
it's
different.
attractive to, like, I don't know. I think that's attractive. Like, if Ken didn't make as much or didn't have the capability to make as much, for me personally, I don't care about looks as much. I don't care about weight. I don't care about, like, I care, are you smart? Are you capable? And are you driven? Those 3 things are so attractive to me. So I would probably be one of those women that would go for a man that had money.
Yeah,
you're
but
not
I
a
don't,
gold digger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm like, but
Sorry,
you
I
were
just
already
hit you.
established, Jenna. No, you were already established, and so you value
someone to
that
meet me
in
at-
yourself, and
Yeah.
so because you've worked so hard for that, so you respect
you find it
that
attractive. Yeah,
in
and I
someone
get
else.
that.
Where you're not marrying him because you're like, I don't want to go work and get a job. I just want to marry someone for their money.
Like some of the girls
Yeah.
on Marrying Millions
Right.
are basically like all about the money, and I don't
Yeah.
respect that.
Yeah.
That's not for me. But if that's what you want to do, who am I to judge your
Yeah.
lifestyle
Yeah.
and what you want to do? So like I don't
Get
give
that
a shit.
bag.
Yeah, go get that bag, but treat him nicely too. Like
Yeah.
that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Definitely.
Everyone's got to get something out of it.
Or Wags. Have you guys watched Wags?
What's that?
Like wives and girlfriends of athletes or something like that.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, there's so many good shows.
Okay, you got to make us a little
No,
list.
I like have respect for people like Lala Kent. Okay, like when she was gonna get
Vanderpump Rules.
I'm rolling my eyes.
Okay.
If you can't see.
Add that to the list. I got to watch that. Well, I'm going to be on the
Vander-
couch a lot with a baby soon, so
Yeah.
I'm going to need some stuff to
Binge
watch.
watch it. Yeah. So Lala was engaged to Randall Emerson Smith. I don't know what the heck his name is, but he's like a film producer, so he had like millions and millions. They ended up breaking up somewhat recently, but when they were gonna get married, like she was adamant about signing a prenup. She's like, I do not want people to think I'm marrying this man for his money. Like she's like, if we separate and go our separate ways, then like I've got what's mine, you've got what's yours. Like I'm not doing this for the money. And I think I respect that a little bit more than women who just like want to, I don't know, marry someone for their money. But to me, I'm like, go do it yourself, girl. Like you have the full like capability in the world to go make money and produce and do whatever you want to do, you know? So just my take on it.
What's your guys' take? Have you been money shamed? Have you been shamed for spending $300 on eyelash extensions and your mom was like, what the hell are you doing? It's just interesting to see how many people have an opinion about how you spend your money that you made. So we're curious. You got to let us know in the comments kind of some of your experiences or stories with friends, family, or just random strangers.
Random people on the internets.
Trolls.
Yeah, jealousy's not a cute look. That's not a cute look for anybody. So I don't know.
No.
I definitely will admit though that I've had a laugh at some of the people in LA that literally live in what looks like a condemned apartment building, but they have a Bentley in the driveway. That is kind of funny. Just coming from someone who is like pretty responsible with my money.
Yeah, you are.
Like, I'm just like, what's going on here?
You want to know something funny? Do you want to know what the car is that is the most popular car for millionaires? What they drive?
Hyundai.
It's Probably like a Prius or something.
No, it's an F-150. It's a truck. Most millionaires.
There's a lot of money in construction.
Drive a truck. And I just think it's funny because it's like usually.
Wait, I have one. So I'm part of the statistic. Oh my gosh, I just realized that.
On to the next episode, right, ladies?
I just hear Eminem when you say that. No, not. I mean Dr. Dre. Who is it? Chronic?
Who?
What?
What? What?
What's happening?
It's hot in
I guess
here.
I'm too old for you guys. Isn't there like a Chronic 2000 song or whatever? And it's like, now on to the next episode.
On to the what?
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to find it, and you're gonna have to play it at the end of this.
Smoke weed every day.
Yes.
Wait, is that what?
That's
Yes.
Is that? Oh, I just thought it said smoke
But he
weed every
says,
day.
on to the next episode, and then it says smoke weed every day.
Oh dang! I don't know how I picked that up. I must have subconsciously known that was like the lyrics.
Well, because when she said it, I just hear that. So anyway.
Anyways, let us know your guys' opinions in the comments. We already asked you all the questions. Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you on all of the channels that we're on: Spotify,
Instagram, TikTok,
Apple Podcast.
podcast.
Yeah, it's really hot.
I know. I'm like airing my pits. If I wasn't in a skirt, I'd be airing other things.
We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.